to the Digivation Network. Joining us, we have Muhammed Rudman. He is the president of the Internet Exchange Point of Nigeria. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Okay, we're going to go right into it. We're starting with a recent report that we just received from the United Nations E-Commerce Index. It came out last week. And according to the report, Nigeria has dropped in ranking from 88 to 94 for countries with readiness for e-commerce. Now, just a little background, the index that was used to score countries was based on access to internet servers, reliability of postal services and infrastructure, and the portion of their population that uses the internet and has an account with a financial institution or a provider of mobile money services. And Nigeria's scores are low, well, except for the UPU postal reliability, which is 83. But for the on access to the internet and secure internet services, Nigeria scored the lowest. So I would like to ask, do you agree with these reports, with this scores given to Nigeria?
Honestly, I have not read the report. I'm hearing it from you. I haven't checked it. So I can't really comment on the report, but there is, yes, high likelihood that Nigeria has dropped in ranking from that 92, which is 86, you said, to 92, right?
88 to 94.
80, yes, exactly. Six line drop.
Yes.
You know, from that, yes, correct. And the parameters you mentioned are actually the right parameters, but when it comes to the broadband, I think that's where you asked. Nigeria is constantly increasing in the number of people that are getting online. If you check the NCC website, you will see that as the end of 2020, we have like around, I think, 154 million people that are online. Out of that, 86 million of them are on broadband, which is equivalent to around 45% of Nigerians that are actually on broadband. So there is a significant increase in number of people that are getting online, but in terms of the ranking, yes, I believe it's possible based on the parameters you mentioned.
Okay. Okay, so statistically, how would you rate Nigeria's e-commerce activity before the COVID-19 lockdown of 2020 and now?
Okay, to be honest with you, also in that one, statistically, I don't think there is a major research that has taken place to show that, you know, where we have concrete evidence. But in the rest of the world, there has been significant increase in number of e-commerce because of COVID-19, because of the lockdown. And I'm sure in Nigeria too, there is an improvement, but not necessarily significant improvement. And that is why in that index we have dropped because of some of the items you mentioned there, infrastructure, ability to deliver, and all the rest.
Okay, I'm going to ask, right now, how would you rate internet service in Nigeria? And do you think the quality of internet service is a hindrance to people embracing e-commerce?
Yes, it's a hindrance to people accessing e-commerce, but there are other challenges. If I'm to say, part of it is the availability of the network in so many other areas. Still in Nigeria, you have the underserved and even unserved areas. For the areas that are served, you know, the connectivity mostly is not up to 3G, it's mostly 2G. And with that kind of connectivity, you cannot really do much. So even though we have high population of number of people that are on the internet, as I mentioned earlier, only around 50% of the people that are on internet, out of the 154 million, only around 50%, 86 million, that are actually on broadband. And those on broadband are mostly in the cities. the main big cities. So 20%, I mean 80% of the commerce, online e-commerce in Nigeria is actually from those major cities. Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Kano. That is the end. You know, the remaining 20% is from all other parts of Nigeria, and all because of the internet access challenge, the infrastructure challenge. If you go to most of these remote locations, the internet connection is very, very terrible. You know, part of it, you know, is the cost of data. A lot of Nigerians cannot afford it. So possibly why you see the drop in ranking, even though there is COVID-19, is possibly because of affordability. Due to COVID-19, millions of more number of Nigerians are going into the poverty line. You know, they can't afford the data. So regardless of going online to even buy some items. So yes, internet is a major part of it.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so all right. The report also suggests that despite the huge internet population in Nigeria, most people prefer physical stores than to shop online. Do you agree with this?
Absolutely. I know of a professor of computer science in Nigeria that is not doing online transactions. Rather, he prefers to even go to the bank, give instruction for the transfer. It's all because of the high cybersecurity risk, you know, and there has been residual distrust with online payments because there are a lot of stories of hacking and all that. So a lot of Nigerians do not really want to go and do online payments because they believe that from there, yeah, their money can be removed. So a lot has to be done to gain the trust of Nigerians so that they no longer take cash as king, because in Nigeria cash is king because of that trust, and also because of the network issues. I personally will go to supermarkets. I have my ATM card with me, but at the same time, I try as much as possible to have a backup cash, because you go there, they'll say, sorry, Oga, there is no network. And therefore, you cannot pay with your POS. You have to end up paying with cash. So that has been the challenge of why people are not using that. Another challenge, if I may say so, is because, you know, do you know that there are local governments in Nigeria that do not have banks? So there are a lot of Nigerians that are not banking, are not in the financial system. Exactly.
Yes.
So based on that, they don't even have ATMs for them to even do online transaction. So that's one of the major challenge. And the central bank, I think, are looking towards it to ensure that you know, they reach out to their financial services to as many people as possible. And that's why you now have this POS license where, you know, you can transfer. Someone wants to transfer you money. You send it to a POS operator, and the POS operator gives you the cash, all because these people do not have bank accounts. And some of the banks, honestly, are making it very difficult to fill the online forms and get all the necessary documentation for these people to have access to bank account. And one of the challenges is also the language barrier. Almost all the banks are operating in English. All the forms are in English, so the people have to fill the forms in English, and some of them cannot speak English language. So that has also been, yeah, exactly. That has also been a barrier. Most of the e-commerce sites are also in English, and there are a lot of Nigerians that cannot speak English. So how do they access these websites and buy merchandise? So that has been also an issue. Yes.
Okay, so in your opinion, what advice do you think how could Nigeria improve on this, on our internet services and on the secure internet services, these areas in which, according to this ranking, this United States e-commerce index ranking, that we're still lagging behind? In what ways, or what are the solutions to help us improve in these areas?
There are a few. Let me start with saying that, for example, government, just yesterday, President Muhammed Buhari approved and signed the National Cybersecurity Policy and Strategy. That National Cybersecurity Policy and Strategy, you know, has a lot of things that are covered in that document. Part of it is the security of the networks and critical national infrastructure. So I think part of it is to give more awareness to citizens, because part of that document, I think, is also doing that sensitization to ensure that people can trust the networks. Two, when there are issues, where do you report such issues of cybersecurity? So banks and the government create the right channels for people to report these incidences. I can tell you personally, I had issues with my US dollar cards. It was hacked like I think 3 weeks ago or thereabout, and possibly because I have been paying for things online from different websites. So if one of those websites is hacked, they have access to my card details, and then they can go online and purchase items. I have reported it to my bank, and it has to be through I called and I had to send an email report what has happened. And you believe it, almost a month now, there is no single action from my bank. And I followed up, I said, what is the update? There is none. I'm telling you the truth, there is none. And I have sent an email, there is nothing. They said all they said was on phone call that they are going to suspend my card for now, pending when the investigation will take place. And part of the form that I filled, it says I should expect at least up to 30 days before they can respond to me. So I'm waiting for those for that 30 days to happen so that they will respond to me. So you can see I'm a tech savvy, I'm educated, yet it's difficult for me to resolve issues. So regardless of the common man on the street, where you have to tell him, okay, go and send an email to this and this, they make the whole process so cumbersome. So I think the banks have to simplify the process of reporting this issue so that Nigerians will have easy access to resolving matters of hacking and cybersecurity, so that eventually they gain the trust. Also, government should intervene in ensuring that all the major bottlenecks that the telecommunication companies are experiencing in Nigeria are removed. Part of it is multiple taxation. Part of it is the cost of right of way. When they dig to lay fiber, is very expensive. They are business people and they need to recoup their investment. So government should create that enabling environment so that internet will be pervasive across Nigeria at a more reasonable cost. I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, you have. I have one last question. Now, these global rankings, in your opinion, do they have strong effects on a country's economy in terms of investment? For instance, like, is this something Nigeria should be bothered about, this ranking? The fact that Nigeria scored low in this ranking?
When it's coming from a reliable source, and from what you said, you are saying, is it World Bank or
United Nations?
United Nations, fantastic. So we have
United
to take
Nations Trade and Development.
Correctly. So we have to take it seriously and see how we can improve on that. If it's a ranking that is done by a private entity or an entity that is not known, we shouldn't really bother. But from United Nations, I think we should be worried about it and see how we can improve on it. It's critical, and they have their parameters, and I think we should look at those parameters to see how we can improve it. The reality is a lot of e-commerce sites have closed. I can mention a few of you here. I think I can remember Deal. Is it Deal Day? Deal Day, exactly. Yeah. Correct. They have closed. OLX, there was a time they were doing huge marketing in Nigeria. They have closed in Nigeria, and there are so many other smaller ones that have come on and have gone because of the tough terrain. So I think it's important for government to look at it to see how they can improve so that we can invite more foreign direct investment, regarding these e-commerce sites. Because if they see that there is an enabling environment, there is growth, they will tend to tilt towards Nigeria and therefore invest in Nigeria. So we should take it seriously.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time and for joining us.
Thank you so much for your time too. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.